Thank you, Mr. Speaker. For the past 3 years, the governor has used this excuse, and he sent this message over with this bill along with several others, that if a bill requires an appropriation, that if there is not a line item appropriation in the budget, that he does not have to abide by that law. And he continues to quote Fletcher versus the Commonwealth as his excuse not to do that. However, the governor is comparing apples to oranges when it comes to this, because in that opinion, the background of it, let me read that to you. It says, the Attorney General brought action against the governor, the Treasurer, and the Secretary of the Finance and Administration Cabinet in the governor's executive spending plan after the legislature adjourned sine die without adopting a budget for the executive branch. This opinion is based on the General Assembly leaving here without adopting a budget. It said the governor has no constitutional authority to exercise legislative powers and order the appropriations necessary to prevent the imminent collapse of government services when the General Assembly fails to do so, when they didn't pass a budget. However, it goes on to say later on, when the General Assembly does pass a budget, it then says if the legislative department fails to appropriate funds deemed sufficient to operate the executive department at a desired level of services, the executive department must serve the citizenry as best it can with what it is given. Meaning that when we pass a budget, even though it may not be line item, the governor still has to abide by the law. So, Governor, here's the message to you, that even though we may not line item something, if we pass a budget, we believe, as this General Assembly, there is money in that budget for you to carry out the orders of the General Assembly. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.